I do a show almost every day. I used to do it every day, but, I can't do that anymore. I'm too old for this. But I do a show many days a week. A majority of the days on a weekly basis, I'm sitting here doing a show. And sometimes, you just read the news and you kind of lose touch with the past, the present, and the future. And what do I mean by this? Well, first of all, I am very high right now. I did a lot of weed yesterday and other drugs, and I'm still recovering. But with that aside, you know, sometimes I read a story and I'm just thinking to myself, I know what's going to happen and I'm seeing the future. Oh, this is going to have more repercussions in the future. It's so clear to me. Is anyone else going to do anything about it? Of course not. Right? And so this is another one of those situations. So check this one out. This is just epic, right? And I say that from the detached, like, I'm just watching the freak show. Like, I don't give a fuck about America anymore. I don't give a fuck about anyone that lives here. I'm just watching the show and I'm commenting on the show. Pretend I'm watching a soap opera, like, General Hospital or whatever. The United States of America, they're in the same category. So anyway, check this out. Truck carrying 40,000 pounds of toxic soil from East Palestine train derailment site crashes on highway. Now, I don't want to sit here and, like, this is obviously a really bad news story, right? But, like, like, I mean, like, did anyone not? But wait, there's more to the story that you're going to enjoy. But, like, did anyone not see this coming? Like, I don't know. That's the thing. Again, like, I read the news pretty much every day. And it's like, you read the news, and part of it is like, oh, well, this happened, so this is going to happen in the future. And, like, the whole point of the future tense is, the only reason why human beings are capable of thinking in the future tense. Because think about this. Let's get a little bit more wild for you. There is no such thing as the past. It doesn't exist. There is no such thing as the future. It's not real. The only thing that actually exists is the present. With humans, our brain is designed in a way where we can remember events in the past so that we can use that information to predict things that would happen. For example, it's 97,415 years ago, and you're a human. Maybe you believe in reincarnation or whatever. I don't know how else you're living that long ago, but listen, hear me up. And, you see a berry, and it's got, like, some weird bumps on it. You eat that shit, you get sick for, like, 3 weeks, right? Damn, fuck that berry. But you recover, you're fine. You're with your buddies, you hang out with your buddies. You're on, like, a berry hunting trip. You find that same berry, and your buddy is like, oh, let's get that berry. You're like, hold the phone. Hold the phone, motherfucker. I tried that berry 3 weeks ago. If you eat that shit, you are going to get sick. Now, some people might go, whatever, that guy's crazy. I'm going to try the berry anyway. Then they're going to get sick. So why do humans have the ability to see the past and see the future? Because they both operate on the same sort of base mechanism that we can remember things that happen to us, right? So if we are in a scenario where there is a giant ecological disaster, can't we predict, maybe, that things related to the cleanup could also be an ecological disaster if we are not safe and secure? Now, again, imagine we have this berry. Imagine it's a mushroom, like the amanita, right? And you eat that shit, you get all fucked up. But imagine this. You boil it, right? You get the campfire, you put your amanita in the fucking thing, you boil the toxins off. Now it's edible. Now you can eat it, and now everything is fine, right? So that is why we have the ability to interpret the past and the future. That is why we developed this ability. Not every animal or creature or life form on this planet has the ability to see the past and see the future. We do, for this reason, and I present to you the United States of America. This is why I maintain that most people are actually, in a cognitive sense, in a consciousness sense, most people don't actually live their lives. Most people are sleepwalking. They're on autopilot. They're zombies. They're not actually living their lives. Think about it, right? Humans were not designed to go in and go out of work every day and do nothing and be depressed all the time. We're not fucking designed to do this stuff, right? And it severely limits our ability to make choices. And when we don't feel that we can make choices, then we are less likely to remember events in any way, because why would we need to remember them? We can't learn anything from them because nothing we learn is actionable. Therefore, people turn into this kind of, you ever hear people that say, you blink once and now you're 40. Oh, I blank 6 times. Is it blunk? I don't know. And now I'm 69, oh shit, all of a sudden I'm 83. You ever meet these people where it's like, they feel that they've never even lived, but they're 50 years old, you know what I mean, right? That's how, because America destroys your fucking brain. This is your brain on America. This is why I say, I choose not to play the game. I say, fuck that shit, fuck the American experiment. I'm watching with a 10-foot pole, maybe an 11-foot pole. But again, so to all bring this back into this news story, I know anyone who's watching this and maybe they don't know anything about me, they're lost right now and they probably aren't even here anymore. But so we know that the soil is toxic. We know that for a fact. Wouldn't you want to, if you're going to participate in any form of a cleanup, you can also argue leave the soil there and maybe quarantine the location in some way. That's another idea. But so you're going to clean it up by dispersing the toxins all across the country, I guess. I don't know what the plan was. Wouldn't you want to secure the truck? Wouldn't you want to hire professionals to do this job? Right? A truck that was responsible for carrying 40,000 pounds of contaminated soil from East Palestine, Ohio, where a train carrying hazardous materials crashed in February, overturned on Monday, the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency said. Roughly half the soil that was on the truck ended up spilling along the highway. The tractor trailer, which had an open top. Again, what the fuck? Was traveling north along SR 165 on Monday when the accident occurred sometime after noon local time in Columbiana County, according to the Ohio State Highway Patrol. The vehicle's 74-year-old driver, Philip Falk, had gone off the right side of the road, hit a ditch and utility pole, and when officers arrived at the scene, they found the truck on its side, off on the right side of the road. Okay? So, once again, we are in this position where it's like, every step of this story is fucked. 74-year-old driver. Hey, no offense to 74-year-olds out there. If you want to be working, you should be allowed to be working. But, two-prong, are you forced to be working? If the answer is yes, that's a failure on society. Why is a 74-year-old doing truck driving? Do they want to be driving a truck? If the answer, which I can presume is no, that's a failure of society. Second of all, this is an extremely sensitive case. Now, if you want to hire a 74-year-old to drive a Coca-Cola truck, be my guest. We're talking about irradiated toxic dirt with an open top truck. I'm thinking here, is everyone involved just fucking stupid? Is the truck driver fucking stupid? I don't think so. They're probably the most likely to be the victim in the story, right? But I mean, are the people that hired the truck driver fucking stupid? Why would you do this? Are the people that let the train derail in the first place fucking stupid? I'm thinking to myself, how does any of this shit happen? How does any of this shit happen. The Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, where were they? Did they know about this 74-year-old driver? And if not, what the fuck? Why not? This is fucked up. And again, as I mentioned, it's a failure of society. Why are 74-year-olds driving trucks? What the fuck are we doing here? Now, again, if a 74-year-old retires at like 67, 68, they get bored or whatever, and they want to go out and do something, that's fine. Okay, that's good. But have them go work at like a fucking fishing store. Have them go, work at a fucking card shop. Have them go, like, write computer code. Maybe they can be an author. Do we really need 74-year-olds driving trucks with irradiated toxic chemicals? Can we not find better people for this? Can we not find better equipment for this? What the fuck? What the fuck? Every step of the way, man. It's every decision that was made here was fucking stupid. About half the soil on board, roughly 20,000 pounds, ended up spilling out of the truck, prompting responses from the local fire department and Ohio EPA, which said that the spill was contained and not a threat to nearby waterways. Every time they say this, oh, it's not a threat to waterways. Oh, thousands of dead fish. Oh, don't worry, it's not a threat to humans. Oh, humans have developed cancer. Oh, don't worry, it's, But hey, everyone. 89,417th time the charm. Maybe this time it really isn't in danger. And that's really the problem with people that read the news every day, is we become desensitized. Right? Now, there's some people out there, they're so fucking stupid and dumb and uninformed, uneducated, brain-dead, zombie dumb fucks, that they hear the EPA, especially the Ohio EPA, say, don't worry, everything's fine, and they actually believe it. I know. You can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. But there's a lot of dummies out there. I'd argue at least 70, maybe 80, probably 90% of Americans are just dumber than dog shit. Okay, that's my opinion. You can feel free to make any judgments about me based on that information. But imagine, the Ohio EPA is here, everyone. Problem solved. How many times have they lied about this fucking shit? To the point where the agency doesn't even really need, like, its existence is redundant. Right? There's no reason. We are in the same boat with and without the Ohio EPA. Either we don't know if it's going to enter the waterways, or the Ohio EPA is involved and they say it's not going to. We can't take that as if it's fact. So either way, we don't know what the fucking situation is with the waterways. Not to mention, who cares about the fucking waterways? What about the fucking ecological systems and wildlife? Most highways are built in the middle of forests. What's gonna happen to the fucking deer population? What's gonna happen to the fucking insect population? What's gonna happen to the fucking trees, the plants, and all this fucking... You know what I mean? Like, Jesus fucking Christ! Falk was cited for operating a vehicle without reasonable control, the highway patrol said. So now this 74-year-old is getting... He's the one getting charged? Not the one that hired him to drive a truck that's insanely out of control? It's the 74... That's the real victim, or that's the real villain, I should say. That's... The government is going to pin this on a 74-year-old, and now that guy is fucked. Isn't this insane? The real villains are obscured by legalese, and they prop up these fake villains to take the fall every fucking time. Is the Ohio EPA, are they going to go to jail for this? Now, I'm not sure if the 74-year-old is going to go to jail, if they're just going to have to pay a fine. But still, is the governor of Ohio going to go to jail for this? No. Is anyone in Norfolk Southern going to go to jail for this? No. Are the people that own the trucks and used an inappropriate truck for this, are they going to go to jail or face any kinds of... No. But the truck driver, who shouldn't have been there in the first place, God knows what put him in a situation where he is 74 years old and driving trucks full of toxic chemicals, right? Lord have mercy. That's a terrible life to live. But he's the villain? Really? Really? This is like when cops like tried to convince people. Do you remember in 2020 when there was police in Buffalo, New York, and they like pushed an old man onto the concrete sidewalk and started bleeding out of his ear? And then they did a bunch of like these PR campaigns. Actually, that old man, he was secretly an Antifa super soldier. Donald Trump, do you remember this? The president of the United States. The president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, came out on television and said that like 80-something-year-old man was a secret Antifa super soldier. Like, we live in a country where they want us to believe that 70 and 80-year-olds are secret anarchist spy cyborgs. Right? Maybe they're time traveling. God knows what. They're so old, right? So maybe they're time traveling cyborgs, secret super soldiers, and they're the real villains of this country. Meanwhile, the police, the ones with all the power, the ones that work at the EPA, Norfolk Southern, the corporatists, they're all good. They're the victims. It's the Above It All show, everybody. Live at 10 a.m. almost every day. So